gotta submit to the waves. Like, we can't fight the tsunami, dog. You just gotta. Ideas aren't ours. We are just vessels that receive them. The name WaveChange genuinely came from. Don't do that. She got no line. She's getting people move. What's good, creators? Welcome back. Honestly, today, sorry, that was an aggressive intro. I'm spilling a drink. Everything's going wrong, guys. When we move, we gotta clean this drink up. Hold on. All right, got a little too worked up on that intro there. Spilling beverages. We're here. Hopefully, Logan's not gonna like the way I clean that up. But what's up, guys? We're back. I'm just super excited to be back in the studio. If you missed last week's episode, I wasn't here. It was another solo episode, just me, and I was away. Me and Jose were in South Carolina for a nice week away. Unfortunately, Steve couldn't come. You already know Logan's not trying to come to the beach. But, so me, Jose, my family, nice week away. But I filmed a podcast episode there solo. But I'm excited to be back. It feels weird, honestly. I got used to the routine of sitting down here and talking. But when I was setting these cameras up just now, I got a little nervous sitting down. But this week, I actually know what I want to talk about. I was driving here to the office. I was going to say this morning, but it's definitely 1:45. Got a late start today. Had a late night on the drive here. I'm all over the place. Like I said, I got to give me a week. Got to get back into the flow. But on the drive here, I was thinking something. I feel like I've definitely talked about it somewhere on a video or done something with it. But the wave, the idea of the wave, the concept of the wave, not connected to WaveChange necessarily, but what is the wave? And it's this idea of where our ideas come from. So let me start it on somewhere. I want to talk about where ideas come from and how we get ideas and my view on the fact that ideas aren't ours. I remember, I definitely did a video about this saying, ideas aren't ours. We are just vessels that receive them, and it's your choice whether when you get the idea to bring it to life, to manifest it and make that idea a physical thing, or to not do it and to pass it on, or to wait too long and the idea, if you don't facilitate it, is going to go find another vessel to get facilitated. Because the ideas aren't ours. The ideas and creativity and stuff is just, I don't know if it's floating around just in the air, but it's out there and it's looking to be created. And when it's ready to be created, it goes, all right, I need a vessel to be created. And it goes, finds a suitable person to do it. And that's when you're like, boom, I got an idea for XYZ. And you go and do it, bring it to life. Now it exists. Or you get the random idea. You're like, wow, I got this idea for this thing. And you just say, that's a cool idea, and go about your life and don't create it. And that idea goes on to the next person. Or the third option, you get the idea, you start working on it, but you're taking too long to facilitate it, and it goes somewhere else and goes into somebody else. And that's typically when you're like, yo, I had that idea 5 years ago. Like, I thought of that way before they did it. Like, I feel like I've heard that so much from people. Like, they see something or hear a song or see a show or a movie, and they're like, bro, I had the idea for that. Or I invented that thing like 5 years ago. I had the idea for that. You very well might, that idea might have came to you first, but because you didn't facilitate it, the idea went on and found a host that then would facilitate it. That being said, I think the point, jumping off of that, my point with that is so you gotta, when you get these ideas, you really gotta treat them valuably. They're with value. You gotta care about them, because that doesn't mean every idea that comes you have to facilitate. But the more you understand that, the more it's like when you get an idea, you can then assess, all right, is this an idea that I want to facilitate, or is this like, it's a good idea, but let it go on to somebody else, let somebody else facilitate it in the world. And then when you do have the idea, it's almost like not to rush you on your ideas, but it's like, get the idea out. Don't stall the idea unless the idea isn't coming, and it takes the time. But if you get this idea for a song, let's say, and you're like, boom, and you start it right now, and you start making the beat and recording, and you decide to cut it off and be like, all right, I'm just gonna come back to this tomorrow, and like you cut your flow state off, like that's a good I know a lot of people talk about like the flow state. So if you're in the flow state creating this thing and you have this idea and you cut it off without it like naturally kind of just concluding, if you're like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go to sleep and do it tomorrow, you're ending you don't do that. Don't do that. Let it rock, because you're stalling it, and that idea might be like, bro, I need to be manifested right now, and you left, so it left. Sometimes you can stop the flow state and come back to something and keep working on it, because like I said, this isn't to say rush everything and finish every project in one sitting, but start to, as an artist, really start to pay attention to yourself and your flow states, and it's okay when you're not in one, but be conscious of when you are in one. Pay attention to it. There'll be some days or weeks where I know it's like I'm just like not in the creative flow, so I got to come in, and it's okay to be like, all right, I'm not necessarily doing too much. I'm making sure that what needs to get done is getting done, and I'm learning things and I'm still doing stuff, but it's okay to be in that, because I know that the second I get in the flow state, I'll ride the flow state for a day, week, month. Like I'll go a week, 2 weeks straight where it's just nonstop, like minimal sleep, just getting these ideas out, and it's coming, and you just gotta live in it, because much like the background of this set and the original point of the wave, it all connects, that it is a wave. It moves like this. You're in the flow and you're rocking it. Sometimes it's a tsunami and you're flowing. And then sometimes the waves go down and it's low tide. And that's where I find in the low tides is where you're gaining like real life. That's when you have more time and more stuff for like real life, hanging out with friends, going to the movies, just doing other things. And that's where you pick up like I don't know, that's where you're grabbing different things to then, when you're on this, like that's what creates the tsunami. Is you're in the low, and you're in the, even if it is the mundane of life, you're in the low tide right now, and you're just going to work and whatever. You're hanging out with one of your friends, or you're getting on Discord, or you're going golfing, or whatever it is. You're going to the movies. You're picking up. At least I try to, when I'm doing that things, be conscious of like, be present here when you're doing that things, because that's the point of doing those things, is you're picking up resources, almost your memories and emotions while you're doing those things, that then build and build and build and put you on this tidal wave. Some of my most creative things came from the day after, like all right, I'm not in a flow state. I'm gonna go hang out with my friends tonight or tomorrow, or I'm gonna take this weekend off, or when I commit, and I'm like, I'm just, all right, I'm submitting to not like forcing the flow, because you can't force. Mike Stud had a great line in one of his songs. He said, it's something about the easiest way to kill a vibe is to force it. Like forcing a vibe is the easiest way to kill it. That's the same thing with the flow, with the wave. Like if you're not in it, just accept it. And some of my best ideas came out when I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go hang out with my friends, or I'm just gonna like not work tonight. I'm gonna get on a game, and I'm gonna play a game or watch a movie with my friends. And submitting to that, you get inspired from life and the people around you and the things that make you happy, and then that, to me, has inevitably always led to, whether it's the next day or a week later, like that then leads to this like resurgence of inspiration and creativity, and I have all these ideas and everything. And that's why it's like, it's not one or the other. It's not a black and white. It's just your balance that works. It might be, it might be seeing the friends not as much, but you see them once a quarter. You hang out with your friends 4 times a year, and that might be enough for you to get that dose of life and inspiration to then work for the next 4 or 5 months, and then come back and see the people, and you want, like, whatever the flow is for you. But that, like to go on that is what the wave is to me. It's just, I find it funny that this is WaveChange. We quite literally have waves, because I never correlated all this stuff. Like the name WaveChange genuinely came from when I was shooting photos. Just got a camera. I was just taking pictures, and I was like, I need an Instagram to post them on. And in my friend group, it would be it'd be like, what's the wave? Like, what are we doing? Like, What's the wave? So the idea was wave change, like change what's going on. So I was like, oh, that sounds cool. It's clean, wave change. Made it, boom, and then it just snowballed into this. It wasn't like I had some deep connection to like the waves, ocean, something like that, the vibe, like I do now. I just find it funny that I really resonated with the whole concept of the wave, and going back to Mike Stud on his podcast, and he's talked a lot about the wave and just being on a wave when you're partying with your boys, and he's making music, and it's just everything, the ideas are coming naturally and you're on the wave. It's funny how it really shows me that things are really more connected than I would have ever thought, because how everything just kind of naturally became this branding almost. Like I didn't necessarily set out to build this. It was just what felt natural to me and what I enjoyed and resonated with. And the name Wave Change, that started. And then somewhere along the journey, I got real spiritual and discovered the wave without the name the wave. And then watching Mike's podcast, it really gave me like the wording almost to articulate what the vibe is. But it really is like a universal power, honestly, because it comes and goes. There'll be days I'm standing at the computer editing 5 hours, and it's just working. It's just me clicking. And then sometimes that, like, when the wave hits, you know it, because the editing sessions or the shoots or the creative times that the wave is hitting, I can't even damn near remember like what I was doing. There's a lot of videos I've watched back videos and been like, bro, I don't remember editing this. Like, if I had to re-edit this, it would be different, because I don't know necessarily how I did this, or like, I just did this. I don't remember doing it. And because it's not me doing it, like, it's just genuinely like when you're in the flow state or in the wave, something takes over, whether you are religious and you believe, personally, I do believe it's a God, it's the higher power, just getting ideas out and using us as vessels. But whatever you believe, whether it's anything, there is something to that, because you can't explain it, you can't articulate it unless you're in it, and you find it in different ways. I personally, obviously, in creating it is the best way, and I think that's the like purest form of it, because in my opinion, most things are creating and are art, and you find those things in that. I know, like, athletes probably find that in sports, and it's just like a high, like probably like runner's high, like that. I've heard a lot of people talk about runner's high when you're really into running, and you hit this point where it's just like a genuine high. And yeah, man, it's powerful. Definitely. I'm very curious if other people. I wish other people were here today to kind of bounce this off of, because I'm curious about other people's views on this, if they feel the same way, or does it not, like, because it's a real powerful thing to me. Like, it's like almost a tangible thing that, like, I could tell you, like, oh, the wave is here right now. Like, we're in it. Like, we're swimming. But I'm curious, because I think it is something that it's like a skill where you almost have to hone into recognizing it and submitting to it, because there's times where it's like the wave hits, and it's like, yeah, I could be like a good example would be hanging out with your friends, or like I'll be hanging out the few times I do, and the wave, something will inspire, and the wave will hit, and it's just like a genuine calling, and it's like, I gotta go work on XYZ, or go do this, or do this thing, or bring this idea to life, or like, and it almost feels wrong to not do it, to like, because like I said, you got to submit to the higher power, to the wave. You got to submit to the waves. Like, if a tsunami was coming, you can't fight the tsunami, dog. You just got to hope for the best and just ride it out. See where it brings you. What shore are you going to wash up on? And that's a great analogy, actually. It's like the wave is genuinely like, you're living your life, you're doing whatever, and then boom, a tsunami comes, and you could like hold on to everything and try to like hold on to your things, or you can just submit, and you're not gonna die in the tsunami. This isn't this wave isn't one that's gonna kill you, but it's gonna do the same thing where you're gonna wash up somewhere after the tsunami settles, once the tides go back out, and you're gonna be probably somewhere different. You might be in the same place, and it might not have done much, or you might look around and be like, I'm in a whole different. I don't know anybody. I don't like. the wave is really a powerful thing, and at least for me, you can really ride the wave and change the wave and experience a lot in it, but you do have to submit to the greater power, because you cannot outswim a tsunami. I'll tell you this right now. You cannot swim faster than a tsunami. You are not, like, as much as we are wave change, we are not tsunami change. I will tell you that right now. You got to submit, but pay attention to it. Really, when you're doing things that might not be a part of your creative passion or the thing you're pursuing, but you're doing them, whether it is going to the grocery store with your girlfriend, or going to, literally, it could be at work, taking the trash out, or literally anything, just the mundanes of life. Really appreciate it and be in it, because those things are the more life you're experiencing, the more you're picking up, and the wave will come. And if you push it away and you reject it, like, not that it remembers who doesn't pay attention to it, but it very much, the people who identify and can submit to it, it likes vessels that will facilitate its ideas. Like I said, these ideas want to get out, and they are more than happy to go to whoever is able to do it. But I've found the people who are able to get the ideas created and manifested, ideas like to go to those people more, because it's like, bro, if you were going through this, I don't know, other states I'm told, if you're going through a toll thing and you're seeing that one toll thing has 18 cars backed up, but this one's wide open, cars are flying right through it, you could pick that one, you will get through, but wouldn't you want to go through the one that, like, oh, this lane is just getting people through quick? Why are you, or like you're checking out of the store and you're like, this cashier is doing good. Like, yeah, he's getting people through the door, but this girl over here, she got no line. She's getting people move whoop, 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 right through. But yeah, man, pay attention to the vibe. That's really all I wanted to go over today. I briefly, I guess, would like, I really wanted to kind of go over the last week with other people, but I fumbled the scheduling with filming this episode, because it needs to drop today and nobody's here right now, and I can't wait until people get here because I need to edit it and drop it today. But maybe we'll film another one for this week, and we'll talk more about what happened like over last week. It wasn't too crazy. Like I said, me and Jose really just chilled. I've actually finally, going back to submitting, I finally fully just committed to doing passion projects again. I know me and Steve talked about once how I was almost praising him for like doing passion projects, and I don't know what it was, whether it was the vibe or but something clicked this week, and I need to start doing stuff, even if it isn't. I'm not putting the pressure on myself to like I did with the podcast and the WaveChange vlogs, or weekly. We got to drop these weekly. I'm just doing it purely for me, literally not for social media. I'm not. Unless I want to, I'm not stressing over, does this have a good caption? What's the thumbnail? Like the thumbnail, I'm paying attention to that if it makes me happy and I want to do that stuff. But if I want to just make the video and drop it at a terrible time with a terrible caption, a terrible everything, like, I'm just creating it. It's just more about forcing myself to release ideas. But yeah, that's been fun. That was cool. I just did one. Got a couple ideas for other ones. Yeah, me and Jose just chilled. I'm curious about what was going on during the week here. It seemed pretty all right. I know Steve filmed 2 videos. There was no issues. It was another quick one. Nice little 20-minute bang, 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 and hopefully convince somebody to ride the wave today and be in it and create something dope. Comment down below. I'm curious if you experienced the same thing. Is this the first time that you thought about it this way, or is this something you also think about and you're like, yeah, like in the flow state? And I'm really curious about other creatives' perspectives on it. But yeah, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. As always, every Monday. Terrible with timing, but we do drop on Mondays. Maybe watch it Tuesday mornings. If you need a morning drive podcast on Tuesdays, we drop on Mondays. I try to drop Monday mornings, but like, comment, subscribe. You can get the shirts. The link is in the description. All the links for the music videos, everything I do and the team does is in the description as always. Appreciate you guys. I'm excited to see what the people listening to this are creating. So please feel free to share what you create, your music videos, photo links to whatever in the comments. This is I am using this to find other creatives too. Like I want to see other people's dope stuff. Please comment it, please. All right. Peace.